Morning. How's it going? We're back for another day here. We're going to be working on continuing our flood fill setup, just trying to determine all the different compartments on our ship. We need to finish implementing it and do some testing. It's going to be a little tough to do the testing without updating the file map, so we'll see. I'm going to try to just get away with implementing it and doing some simple checks, spot checks against the arrays we get back, but if we have to, we'll develop a more complicated debugging process for it. I'll probably also rename a bunch of stuff because I'm never happy with the naming conventions that I use right off the bat. So we have our flood fill. We just need to set it up and actually use it. I noticed there was an unnecessary check here. We are checking whether a point is in the flood bounds twice. We're checking it when we add it to the stack, and we're checking it again when we pop it off the stack, and that's so that we don't need to do that. So I think we'll take it out here. Excuse me. A little tired. Yeah, I think this is otherwise ready to go. I guess we should check to make sure the barriers are being recalculated correctly. Do that check pretty quickly. Oh, instant crash. Georgina 2. Hi, welcome to the channel. How's it going? So this doesn't tolerate... So I guess this array needs to be declared. Out of bounds get index 0 on base. Yeah, okay, so I need to declare these arrays. Here. Like this. I'm gonna do it before here. Horizontal barriers. A new array. Array.new. I'm going to declare an array with a specific size. I don't want to fill the content. I guess I can do that. Hey, Fody. I'm good. I think we're almost done with our flood fill. Just need to test it. How are you doing? Just gotta resize these. Ship hull. Get. Just ship hull dot deck count. Ship hull dot count. I saw your sound adjustment menu in the Discord this morning. Everyone's bragging about their ability to alter sound levels. That ended up being like a big problem for me in my last jam game. I ended up recording the audio too quietly, and like there was no amount of work that I could do in the engine to like fix it. And I like didn't have time to like re-record or go back and change the files. It was rough. I guess I need to do that. It's like a post-jam support thing. Alright, let's see if that's adequate. Why is that not adequate? Oh, it's because there's just no array there. Having some nested array difficulties here. Yeah, sound recording editing sure is finicky. It really is. Okay, so it's not enough to resize the array. I just need to say something like, does it really have to be something so stupid like this? I don't really want to do this. Okay, so I want to say size hiphull.deck count for deck in hiphull.deck count. Not really how that works. In range. Kind of tried it once, spent a whole day recording a bunch of stuff. The editing still hasn't happened yet. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, I need to record a bunch of... I re-record a bunch of music for my last jam game, because I have like a final version of it that's just been languishing that I haven't touched in like a month. And it's like nice, it's got a lot of improvements over the original version. There's just a bunch of little tedious things left over, and I like have not had a free weekend to do it. And I don't want to work on it on stream. But it's got to get done. Just at least as a portfolio piece. For index and range, she pulled out that count. Horizontal barriers. Append array. Append an empty array. Can't. This can't be the correct way to do this. Or more specifically, there's got to be a better way to declare nested arrays that I just can't think of right now. Which game was that? It was this little... Grab the link. It was this little Ludum Dare compo I made about controlling ships. I ended up like refurbishing all of the art and a lot of the interactions and like adding additional like ship types and spell types, and I did a bunch of stuff. I just need to finish it and put it up on itch. But it's one of those cases where it's like, I'm taking too long. I really just need to do it. Yeah, I need to finish it, you know. I need to re-record some music. I have a checklist. Out of bounds, get index 0. I like am struggling with doing this as a nested array. I know that's like bad form already, so maybe we don't do that. Maybe we just take slices of it. I don't want to make something similar. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working on it. The harnessing the wind mechanic felt really good. I definitely struggled a little with the physics. I'm not like a big physics person. Okay, so we're doing this differently. We are going to deck number, ship layer. We're doing this sequentially, so it should be okay. Do this. Oh wait, this isn't even the... Oh shoot, this isn't even the right... Alright, we gotta rethink this whole thing. Oh wait, am I just incorrect in my assumptions here? Okay, no, this is also an array of array, which I don't think we want. We could probably simplify this by just using an array of dictionary and like not care. Wish I had more time. Yeah, me too. Me too. Alright, so let's flatten these. Instead of having them be arrays of arrays, they're going to be Arrays of vector 3s. I could also just... It would be easy to just have a dictionary of arrays. That seems like lazy. I should have spent more time thinking about architecture when I was off stream. It would make doing this a lot easier. Part of the reason I did it this way, where I had it indexed by z-index, was that I could then just copy in the entire get use cells. So we want to make this barrier tile recording part like fast. And from this we get back an array of vector 2i's. Maybe we do just use a dictionary, because then we can have a sparse data set. Like, or if we have a sparse data set, it's like not as big a deal. I don't know. I need to think about this more clearly, but just to get off the ground, let's try a dictionary. That's what I've been using elsewhere. There are alternatives to do this thing where we basically have like a flat or like a packed array. Not packed in like the sense of like a packed whatever, but like an array that's just all smashed together, and then we index into it at certain places and slice it. Which honestly we could actually still do, huh? But it's just easier to use a dictionary for this, I think. Definitely not better. Just using what should be array indexes as dictionary keys into additional dictionaries, or into like have each dictionary key the value of which is an array. That just seems bad. It seems like bad form, but it is easier, so I don't know. Be an array of vector 2i. Well, then I'd be slicing all the time. Slicing probably makes a copy. And it returns an array. As a new array. Yeah, we don't want to be slicing constantly. That seems like bad form. Whatever, we're just gonna use a dictionary. Oh, you like it? That's really sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Fody. I'll share the new version of it. I can show you here, actually. It mostly works. I think I need to open it in an older version of Godot, though. Let me see. I think we were using 421 stable. Yeah, the controls in the version you're playing is actually pretty primitive too. It requires a lot of overcorrecting. Getting some weird editor bugs or editor errors, but I don't think it matters. It was, especially since it was the first time I've ever done a jam or made a finished game in Godot. It was a big challenge. Let me turn the music off. Here. I don't know if the music is on here. Yeah, it is. Well, let's see if this works. This is the new version of it that I'm still finishing. Please run. There's some additional. We've got a little sea monster that we made. We redid the. We took on the Just Codes ocean shader. There's additional spells and a new ship type. But yeah, fundamentally the same. We also changed the wind a lot. Oh, I have the debug on for some reason. I don't know why I have. Oh, I'm dealing with some collider problems, so I'm showing the colliders. Pay no mind. Yeah, there's also like a whirlwind spell now, and a lightning spell. There's also bigger versions of the ships. Yeah, I need to finish this. Yeah, thanks. The whirlwind is like spins ships around in like a vortex, which is kind of good if you've got too many ships that are too close. Oh no, they're gonna crash. We'll see. I love the little sea monster. The speed of the wind affects the ship speed now. There's a bunch of different stuff we added. Spells cost different levels of faith, except the original spell. Yeah, there's tons of stuff we changed. I'm pretty proud of it, but yeah, I just gotta finish it. Record some more music. Gotta make time. No, it's not. Hey, Cubus. It's not. I'm gonna put it on itch soon. I hope. At least this month. My goal is to do it. Finish it this month. Put it up on itch as a finished version. Yeah, it would be cool on touchscreen. I don't think I want to put the time in to make that happen, but it would be cool. Problem is, it's kind of just like a little endless game. Vertical barriers, dictionary, horizontal barriers. We're going to just make these dictionaries for now, and if this becomes a performance issue later, we will fix it. We're going to do the same thing here. And so this breaks quite a few things, I think. So I think we still need to do a little initialization. We need to basically say, we need to do what we were doing before. We need to say for index in range ship hull dot deck count. Let me turn the music back on. Yeah, no worries. Lurk away. Oh, this barrier system should still work. Out of bounds, get index 0 on base dictionary. I don't understand how that's possible now. So we're adding we're going from 0 and stopping before we reach the deck count, and we are saying we are adding to the dictionary. I'm saying the dictionary is keyed, but can I use this for assignment? I thought I could. I'm like questioning everything I know now. Yeah, I should be able to do that. Did I say like new array instead? Why doesn't this work? Vertical barriers, deck number, dot append array. Ship layer, dot get use cells. Let's look at this. So dictionary, size 0. Okay, so it's not actually adding anything to the dictionary. Interesting. Index and range, ship hull dot deck count. Ship hull's deck count is 6. Like hard coded for now. I guess we'll try doing this the other way, because I can't figure out how to get it to work this way. Shorten the names a little bit. So the XY barrier tiles. Variable XY barrier tile. Indices. Alright, let's see if we can manage it this way. So this is the XY barrier tiles. Oh, we're gonna have to get like we're gonna have to slice these up. No, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work the way I'm propagating through this. Because we're going up and down. Because this flood fill goes up and it's like doesn't respect the vertical separations between the tile map layers. It's like checking the volume. And so I guess I can't do what I want, which is I wanted to just copy over the get used cells in their raw form, just the whole array of vector 2i's, and just add them. But it's gonna be hard to navigate that. We're gonna need to... Yeah, we're gonna need to do this differently. It's gonna slow it down, maybe. The fact that we need to regenerate it all the time is not great. So instead of having this array, we're just going to need to make this an array of vector 3's. Instead of indexing, instead of using Z as like a higher up partition, we're just going to need to attach, we're just going to append it to the tile map layer cell coordinate. That's just going to have to be how we do this. Fine. It's fine, I guess. So let's go down here and we're going to say Z barrier tiles. We're going to grab, we're going to say variable tiles. Tiles is shiplayer.getUsedCells. We'll just store that. I'll append. No, we can't append the array, so instead what we need to do is we need to say for tile in tiles. Tiles XY. I'm gonna say maybe tiles XYZ, an array of vector 3i. We actually don't need to do this in this match. Just hide the match for a second. We can do the assignment in the match, but let's not do that in a branch. Let's not do all the like preparing the arrays like this. Tiles XYZ dot resize, tiles XY dot size. Resize it, hopefully gives us some speed. We're resizing it all at once, and then we'll say for tile XY in tile tiles XYZ or XY for tile in tiles XY. Tiles XYZ dot resizing this array, like changing the capacity, in which case I can just append to it and it will just use the... No, it's probably not going to work. Assigns elements of another array into the array, resizes the array to match array, performs type conversions if the array is typed. Oh, we could maybe just assign the whole thing and then go through and add the vector. Let's try that. Let's try doing it that way. Vector 3 equals tiles. Tiles. We don't need to resize it then. We can just say tiles, and we don't need to append. Tiles XY. I guess we declare it here, and then we say tiles XYZ dot assign tiles XY. I'm actually going to just print it now and see what we get. I need to fix a lot of this, or I just need to hide it for a second. Oops. Let's see what we get. Probably get nothing. Cannot assign contents of array vector 2i to array vector 3i. Oh, we can't do that. Rip. It was worth a try. Late lunch. Hardest question in life. What to cook. It does seem to be a big struggle. I was really hoping it would be able to do like type conversions. I was really hoping there was an implicit type conversion from vector 2i to vector 3i. I don't know why. Oh no, you forgot about lunch. So I guess instead we're going to say for index in range tiles xyz dot size. We can't do the assignment, so instead we'll say tiles xyz dot resize to tiles xy. So we're just going to be adding the z index to each of these. So actually we should probably say oh wait, we just have deck number. Deck number is the tile Z. It's fine for now. From vector 2 to vector 3, vector 2i to vector 3i. I thought there would be an implicit conversion. No, I shouldn't be looking at 2. I should be looking at 3. This one. Yeah, there isn't. There isn't a constructor. Or maybe, yeah, no, there isn't. That's a weird oversight, I feel. Should easily be able to do that. Oh well. Who cares? I'm sure there's a reason. We just have to do this a slightly more complicated way now. So we'll say tiles xyz index equals vector 3i tiles xy dot x tiles xy dot y deck number. I don't want to say tile z tiles z. Oh, oops. Dot size. Tiles xyz index equals vector 3i. Or no. Yeah. Tile. What's not declared? Tile z. Oh, oops. Tiles xz index. Okay, that should work. And then now we put the match back in. Because at the end we need to decide who we're adding this to. So it's going to be, so like for here, it'll be Z barrier tiles. So if it's a floor, we're adding it to the Z barrier because this is a barrier. This is a vertical barrier. Maybe I don't like X. Maybe I'll go back to calling it horizontal barrier and vertical barrier. I don't know. Right now I'm calling it XY barrier tiles and Z barrier tiles. But whatever. Maybe I think that's more explicit. Append array. Append this array, tiles XYZ. Is not declared. Oh, tiles Z. Oh, we're not indexing like that anymore. I forgot. Yeah, okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. We weren't able to do the nested array thing, so we're just doing it as a single. We put the Z indexes into the vectors, which in the long run is probably the better way to do it. It's just maybe a little slower. Maybe it's a little slower. Maybe it's not. Who knows? Okay. So the match at the end is basically saying if this layer, because our layers are numbered, if this is a layer of floor tiles, it's a Z barrier because that's what it is. A floor is a barrier to moving up and down for the flood fill. And then 1 and 2 are walls and doors, and those are XY barriers because those prevent movement along the X and Y. So we have these, and hopefully this is fast enough that we can run this all the time. Now we got to look at the consequences of doing this. So we're going to say, so we might actually not want this anymore. No, we don't. Actually just get rid of that. So if not XY barrier tiles dot has tile plus offset. Tile plus offset. Vertical max needs to be so it's not tile Z, it's tile dot Z. Tile dot Z. Not vertical, if not Z barrier tiles dot has tile plus vector 3 dot 1. Vector 3i. Be fine for the scale at which we're working on. tile minus vector 3.1. Vector 3i. I'm constantly forgetting that. Vertical barrier doesn't work anymore. I kind of liked vertical and horizontal barriers, as I thought that was maybe a more descriptive name. Maybe we'll go back to it. Okay, this should work. Famous last works. The partition tiles thing. Did I change how this worked now? This might not work. This is just a dictionary. This is the partition tiles. I actually want to call this something different. Maybe like tile compartments, because that's kind of what it's supposed to be. Although maybe the key is the partitions, so maybe that's fine. Although again, here we're having this dictionary that consists of arrays, but I think it should be fine because we're assigning it all at once. We're not trying to do any appending. We're just saying partitioned tiles, partition count is flood fill from initial tile, and this passes back a whole array. So this should be fine. Let's see what we get. Technically is running, but I'm not actually asking it to flood fill yet. Let's just do this, and then let's see if... Check out the remote tree and see if this is actually being added to something. XY barrier tiles, array, size 23. Yeah, it looks like the barrier system is working. Okay, that's good. That's working. Alright, so let's try to do this flood fill. When are we going to ask the game to do this? Pretty much just after the barrier tiles have been reset, right? So... we do it once here. Here we're gonna say flood fill ship volumetric grid, and we're gonna say ship volumetric grid dot duplicate. Do the same thing whenever we restore. Do we do this anywhere else? Like up and ready? We do it up and ready, okay. Volumetric grid. Duplicate. We're gonna need to restructure this a lot. Starting to have systems like kind of collide together in awkward ways. Doing it all in one class. Maybe a mistake. We're gonna say flood fill volumetric grid. Godot arrays are ref counted, right? Like they'll clean themselves up. I assume they do. I've never had to worry about them before. This musical artist is like purposefully peaking their audio as like an aesthetic choice. I didn't love that. We got ads. Probably take a 2-minute break once the ads hit. Just try to get a little stretch in. I often forget to do that. Let's run this really quick and see if it works, or if it just crashes. Crash. Floodbounds.hasPoint adjacent tile. Oh. I see. You're back. Alright, I'm back. It's annoying because I'm just dealing with this whole... A lot of this information is stored as vector 2s, but some of it is vector 3s, and it's just this constant back and forth of just changing the information, re-encoding it one way or the other. We might change some of the way we do that, especially like the way we paint things like walls. Maybe we make it more 3D. And floors. Maybe we can move it in that direction. I don't think, as long as you manage to navigate those, I don't think there's an issue. Well, at the moment, I keep changing the representation, so I get confused. But yeah, once it's matured, it should be fine. So like adjacent XY, these should be vector 2s. Or I don't know, maybe they shouldn't be. Let's go back down here. Once it's one. Yeah, one of the perks of solo deving. Yeah, once it's 1x. Yeah, once it's 1.x, I'm sure we'll have a pretty good idea of how this all works. Just gotta get there. Yeah, the problem for me when you're solo deving is like, because I'm solo deving, I can only work on one thing at a time. So I have to be very careful to make sure that when I leave some part of the project behind, when I've decided that it's done, I have to really make sure that it's like good, like that it's solid. If it's complicated, it needs to be either documented well or self-documenting. Like I need to make sure that when I put something down and I go pick something else up, that I actually can come back and remember what it does. If Floodbounds has point, I really wish, I don't know why you can't do this, and this is another weird thing in Godot, why I can't just go adjacent tile.xy. Like, it's not complaining about it, but I don't think a vector 3 has an xy property. I mean, we can try it. It's gonna yell at me and say there's no xy property. Yeah, invalid access to property or key xy on base object of type vector 3i. You should just be able to do that. Just be able to do that. Only shaders can do that? I don't know. That's yet another thing. I mean, yeah, I'm sure shaders can do that. But this may be me being like spoiled from like C# or whatever, but you could do all sorts of stuff to like vectors, or all sorts of cool like implicit casts and like little swizzling property of like stuff. I don't know. See if it complains about it now. This isn't good. If you used C# before, why did you opt for GDScript? I wanted to learn it. I mean, it's like it's the language of this. It's the language of this engine. I kind of wanted to learn it. And I looked at it a little bit, and, you know, interfacing with the engine is faster generally in GDScript, but if you're doing like simulation-y kind of things, it's generally better to do it in C#. Like if you're doing a lot of code, like crunching outside of the engine in scripting, it's better to just do it in C#. So I don't know, there seem to be trade-offs. There's a bunch of trade-offs. I'm not an expert, but from a learning standpoint, I just wanted to do it this way. This is concerning. Did I create like an infinite loop somewhere? Is this going to give me the keys or the values? For tile in partition key. No, it'll give me the values. Right. I'm a little concerned that I'm not actually erasing the filled tiles out of the unfilled tiles, so it's never actually going away. Huh. Oh. Slight problem. I see what's happening. It is an infinite loop. In JavaScript, in gives you the keys and of gives the values. Oh, that's cool. I think if I said, if I took this part out, I would say like it would be like 4 keys in partition tiles. But because I'm feeding it and I'm getting an object from, I'm getting a key, or I'm using a key. The partition tiles, I'm getting the values. Pretty sure that's how that works. But this actually isn't sufficient, and the reason why is because it's looking through the partitions, but the partitions are only the empty tiles. It's not actually the tiles. It's not actually the walls. We're not actually including the walls. And the reason for that is because a wall could belong to 2 partitions. So like outside is the first partition, just empty space. And then each room is its own partition. So this is a partition, this room, and then all out here is a partition. So all of these wall tiles, they either belong to 2 partitions or they don't belong to any. And at the moment, my paradigm is that these do not belong to any partition. But maybe that's not a good way to do it. Maybe I want them to belong to both. If I get them to belong to both, then they would... Like, so this wall would be part of the outside partition and part of the inside partition. That has some advantages. Because, like, let's say this wall gets damaged or destroyed. I could say, hey, wall, what are the 2 partitions that you're a part of? And it will say, well, I'm outside and I'm inside. And I can be like, oh, well, if you're outside and inside, then destroying this wall is going to create an explosive decompression. Whereas if this isn't part of a partition, I'll need to look at this wall and then try to find the tiles on each side of the wall and then and then look in the partition table for those. So maybe it's good to have them be listed as part of the partitions. There could be advantages in doing it that way. So, but how am I going to do that from a logic standpoint if I decide that's what I want to do? Because right now what we're saying, we're basically saying, are you part of this barrier? That's tough. That's tough. We could look at the XY barriers. We could say... That's an interesting challenge. What we want to do. So previously, when we did this before, I did very specifically... include walls in the rooms. Oh, we only flood filled the floor tiles. Oh. Oh, we could do something similar here. Okay, I think I see a workaround. So initially, we'll feed an initial tile that's that we know is outside. So the first partition is still going to be just the outer space. But after that, we will start feeding from a list. And the list will actually be, it won't be the volume, it will be the Z barriers. We actually don't want this. We're actually just going to use, so instead of ship volumetric grid, flood fill, ship volume. I don't know. Trick grid. So instead we can say Z barrier tiles. Not duplicate. No, that also won't work, will it? Because yeah, that won't work. Shoot. How do we want to do this? I think the only real solution is to add walls to the partitions, or to like keep track of which walls are part of the partitions. So that means we need to look here. Flood fill from initial tile. The flood bound. The way we do that is that means we need to consider tiles that have barriers. So we can ignore the Z barrier tiles, I guess. Sort of. Actually, it's the horizontal barrier tiles that are giving us a hard time, aren't they? So we want to consider them. And we want to add them. The floor tiles get added anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. Oh, we want to add the floor tiles too. We basically want an idea of the whole box. So if we've got if we consider the box a partition, like the four walls and the floor and the ceiling, we want all of those tiles as part of this partition. That way we know what tiles are dividing between, or you know what floor or what wall is dividing between two partitions, or what two partitions the floor is dividing between. That's the right way to say it. Okay, so to do that, we need to consider tiles that are barriers, but we want to add them, but we don't. Once we've hit a barrier tile, we don't want to search farther than that, really. An interesting problem. Gotta try to visualize it. Maybe if I go into the ship editor, I can visualize it better. Oh, infinite loop. Forgot about the infinite loop. Comment these out. Alright, well, I should have killed the infinite loop. I did. So if we've got, let's go down one. So if we're down here and we've got a room and we've got walls separating the room. Let's go up and let's put the ceiling on. Hard to visualize a little bit. Okay, so this is a compartment. So we want to... So we search the area outside the ship first. So we want to include these walls. But we don't want to include the floors. We want to go one over and check the wall. So we'll say, we'll search this whole outside area and we'll add this because it's adjacent. And we'll look there, but before we go to the next part, we'll check to see if it's a barrier. And if it's a barrier, then we will stop the search there. Okay. I think I figured it out. I think I figured out what we're doing here. Appreciate everyone who's sticking through this incredibly boring phase of development here. Incredibly boring groundwork that we're doing. But it'll be worth it. We're going to have some really cool tools and some really good emergent gameplay from these systems. Because having this partition flood fill thing is going to be so good for a number of FTL-like systems like oxygen or propagation, fire propagation. crazy pressure changes, like explosive decompression, which FTL doesn't do, but I think it'll be fun if this game does. And getting these kinds of emergent properties out of a game, it depends on having these these simple but like these simple systems that combine together in complex ways. Okay, so here. So we're going to say this, and then we're going to say if XY barrier tiles dot has tile I'm going to say if not XY barrier tiles has, then we do this stuff. We'll add the adjacent. Well, actually, it's more complicated than that, isn't it? Actually, this is fine. We'll do it this way for now. So if we're not on a wall tile, we will continue to flood fill. If we've reached a wall tile, then we'll just pass on to the next piece, part of the stack. We won't add anything else to the stack here, because we've reached the edge of one of the partitions in that case. That should break us out of this infinite loop. Oh, but I need to change this part too. So we actually don't want to prevent the barrier tiles from propagating that. And then for the up and down, do we still want to check the Z barriers? Well, no, we don't. We need to think about the Z barriers now. Okay, the Z is going to work a little differently, and that's okay. I think this will work. They should break us out of that infinite loop. Let's see if that's the case. Not promising. Looks like there's still an infinite loop somewhere. All right, let's figure that out. Oh, we need to do a check when we're setting the initial tile. We need to say while tile while xy barrier tiles dot has initial tile. So we need to pick. It's possible that we never get out of this if we pick a XY tile, that barrier tile, like a wall. So we'll never move away from it. You don't want to start the search from within a wall. That's causing a problem. Do we still have an infinite loop? Ooh, this is rough. This is rough for us. Okay. Where is that? Where is this infinite loop happening? Maybe it's breaking. Maybe it's getting stuck in a loop. Just because we're sending it. It's empty. Yeah, that must be it. Well, not infill tiles, that is empty. Yeah, that's a problem. So we need to do a check first. I'm gonna change this partition ship tiles. Partition full ship tile map. How are we going to determine this? How are we going to determine whether this is empty? Maybe we use the tile map snapshot. Layer count, layer sizes. Maybe if the tile map data is... Tile map data size is 0. Say if tile history index dot tile map data dot size is greater than 0. Then we'll partition ship tiles using the ship volumetric grid dot duplicate. All right, let's see if that breaks us out of this infinite loop. Okay, it did. That's good. But can we do it once we actually have tiles to partition? All right, let's see. Nope. We are now trapped in an infinite loop. So we did not address the core problem. Okay. At least the whole editor doesn't hang up when we create an infinite loop, unlike some engines. Don't need to be named. All right, so what are we doing is the real question. The tile map data size does not seem to matter. While not unfilled tiles is empty, yeah. So while we have unfilled tiles, we want to make a partition. So we say partition tiles, partition count, flood fill from initial tile, which initially is just this tile on the edge here. And we do that. We go through, start filling up the stack here. Tile vector 3i stack.pop. Pop back. Just add that immediately to the partition table here. Partition array, not a table. And then if this is not a wall tile, which is the barrier tiles, this is not a known wall tile, then we go through each offset. And then if as long as it's within the flood bounds, grab this. We add this to the stack. We also go up and down. Tile.z plus 1 is less than or equal to the vertical max. If the z, so if this isn't a floor, so we're not going up. We're using the floors to prevent the flood fill completely, which is correct, I think. That's part of what this thing's job is. Okay, and so we go through, we exhaustively search that area, we return this array, which is this partition. And then for each of the tiles in that partition, we remove those tiles from the unfilled tiles list. I call these unpartitioned. Maybe not better. Partitionless? I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to say unfilled. Unfilled isn't really right. Untested? Untested tiles. Then we set a new initial tile by picking one of the untested tiles at random. We make sure while XY barrier tiles has initial tile, we pick again until we don't. And then we up the partition count and do this again. I mean, I could just remove, I could say untested tiles dot erase initial tile. That shouldn't be where the problem is. Yep, here we are. Okay, so yeah, let's add some prints just to see what our progress is like. We'll print partitioned tiles dot size, partition tiles, partition count dot size. Print untested tiles dot size. Let's just see if these end up getting smaller and or bigger as we go along. Actually, let's not print the partitions. Let's print. I'm gonna get rid of this for now. Oh, no, we can keep that. Print untested tiles dot size. Let's see where we freeze up. See how far we get. Okay, so we never return. We never return from the first. Oh, that's concerning. Do some math here real quick. How do we specify how many tiles are in this area? For Y and build bounds. Y. Not sure where we get this number, this 1280 number. It doesn't seem like the right number, but okay, so we never even do a single iteration of the flood fill. We're getting stuck. We're getting stuck in here, flood fill from. So that means the stack is never empty. How does that happen? Yeah, we're doing it. I thought I was printing out from the partition function just to see how many times we went through the loop and if we were reducing the search area as we did it, but we never even come back once. So do the same thing here. See if the stack just keeps growing ad infinitum. Yeah, it does. The stack is growing ad infinitum. How is that happening? If this should be limiting us here. This if flood bounds has point adjacent tile.x adjacent tile.y. How is that not? Let me print the array size. Curious if we just keep adding to the stack or if the array is also getting bigger. Oh, it is. The array is also getting bigger without bound. That's a huge problem. How is that happening? I'm gonna print these adjacent tiles, because there's no way these adjacent tiles are correct. -8, -7, -7, -8. 7 -8. Oh. Oh. We're not checking to make sure that that we haven't already searched somewhere. Oops. Did I have that in my original function and I like deleted it? I did. I had this check. I already had this check. And I got rid of it from my original flood fill function. I'm an idiot. Where do we put it? We'll probably put it when we're searching. We want to say if flood fill has point. And not array dot has adjacent cell tile. Oops. Oopsies. Yeah, a little bit. This was basically like a Sorcerer's Apprentice situation where I asked the computer to do work, and I didn't let it check to see whether it had done the work already. And it's just like, what do you mean? I'm just doing it. I'm just doing my thing. Okay. Maybe this works. We crashed. Saw. Trying to return an array of type array. Oh. Be easy. Okay, well, we got through one loop. That's for sure. And then we hit some bugs. Oh, we're emptying the whole partition in one go. So we're leaking somehow. Okay, so there's somehow 21,000 tiles coming back to us from the flood fill, so it's still not working. It's very strange. So we should be stopping it by using this XY barrier. Because the space we're searching is supposed to just be... I mean, I don't understand why it's 1280. 1280 is a weird number, but it's supposed to be approximately... Supposed to be approximately 1,350 tiles worth. It's a 15 by 15 area that's stacked 6 times. And yet, we're getting back an array that has 20,000 elements in it. So, that's interesting. Adding things multiple times, which it really shouldn't be doing. So whatever initial tile we've got, we just add it. And then we search. Oh, wait. Actually, 17 times 17 times 6. More like that. Still, that's like a huge number. $261 and $262. So we're saying if this isn't a barrier tile, like if it's not a wall, then we'll go through the offsets. And we want to check at least the offsets. So the next is the tile plus the XY offset. And then if the flood bounds has this point, Oh. Hold on. Put this in the wrong place, I think. So we can check if it's a barrier tile here. If it is a barrier tile, we just want to stop. We don't want to do anything else. We're just done. If it's not a barrier tile, we'll append it, and we will... So if it's not a barrier tile, and if the array doesn't have it, I'm a little worried we're just going to search exhaustively here. No, that should be fine. So we'll do it like this. Maybe this is all we need to do. You change the barrier check here. And not array. If the array... So we want to say if not array.has tile and not XYV. So as long as those two conditions are met, we can add the tile and we can search. Oh no, we want to... okay, this is... I had it right. I had the sort right the first time. We actually do want to add it if it's an XY barrier. We just don't want to search from it if it's an XY barrier. Yeah, let's see if this version works. Let's see what we get back now. Okay, it's still like a large number, but it's not like an outrageously large number. Can't take value from empty array. It still has duplicates in it somehow. Not really sure how that's happening. Take a look at it. It's hard to tell if there are duplicates here. I guess I could sort it, maybe. Let's see if this is actually the right number. Like 9 times... Looks like it's 9 times 9 somehow. Oh, it can't be 9 times 9. It's minus 9 to positive 9, so that's 18. 18 times 18 times 6. It's still bigger than I'm expecting it to be. It makes me concerned that there are duplicates. I guess it's 19 by 19. This array we're getting back is still bigger than it should be. It is weird. Oh wait, what's this number? Is this a 12? That's a negative 12? How is a negative 12 getting in here? Confusing. Flood bounds is minus 8, 17 by 17. Is this Rec2i being a son of a bitch again? I don't like Rec2i. And Rec2i is the thing that's supposed to be stopping me from going over like this. If flood bounds has this point, let's say if next dot x greater than flood bounds dot end dot x, or next dot y is greater than flood bounds dot end dot y, print next. Sanity check here. Seeing if flood bounds is just being a bastard. Okay, so it's not. Here. Actually, this is fine. I actually think we need to account for this. I'm going to assume this part is working. That's what I've decided. We're going to say if untested tiles dot is empty. Break out of this while loop. Maybe that fixes it? Okay. Alright, well, let's try to make a compartment then. Okay, this is a compartment. Let's see if we've got one. 64. Yeah, I think we got a compartment. I think this might be working. Go check out the remote. Go look at our partition tiles. Dictionary size 2. This is very wrong. Array of size 2660. 1 is an array of 27, 24. Yeah, there's leakage. There's some kind of leakage happening. Okay, well, that's it for today anyway. We're out of time. So, we're getting there. There's some kind of leak in our flood fill, but I think we can find it. Yeah, appreciate everyone hanging out. Gotta wrap it up and get to work here. Get to my day job. But we'll be back tomorrow. Still very good progress today. Yeah, we fixed some bugs. Thanks for hanging out, Fody. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.